Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Disco Elysium. I am Chris. I'm here with my co-host, Tyler. Say hello, Tyler.
Hi, I'm currently holding my Blahov right now. It's very cute. I have not given it a name yet, though. If
Suggest
anyone wants,
some names in the comments or in the thread.
yeah. If it's a good name, I will use it. If it's not, I will not. That is the course of action I will promise I will take.
Well, there you go. All right, so on this episode, we're gonna continue investigating the Doom commercial building. I think number one priority, we got to get the body in the fridge, so we should look for the basement. But also, it has been mentioned that there is a mysterious presence in the industrial chimney, so we should keep an eye out for that as well.
It's not mysterious. It's metal fatigue. It's fucking oxide and stuff, and the rust.
Blocked by old window panes and debris.
Yep, I've heard somebody call it debris, and I felt really bad when I pointed it out.
Remains of the 24-hour window repair shop. Have you done that? Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has a word like that, you know?
Yeah.
The one that I always have, that I always remember, is I used to think that the word S-E-G-U-E was pronounced Segue,
Well, not
and
Segue.
not Segue, because I was like, oh, Segway, that's the two-wheeled thing that you stand on. That's not this. That has nothing to do with this other word.
It's not. That's really cute though. Also, you fell for corporate branding.
I
Sucker.
did, but hey, man, I was born in the '90s. Okay, I was been swimming in this ocean since the day I was born. I don't know any other way.
Fair enough.
All right, we got a goose. Looks like. Interesting.
Staring at us, but clearly looking at the wall.
Drink it. Maybe not.
What is a demijohn?
I don't know if that's a real thing or something that's made up for the game. I assume, I mean, from context, it's obviously some kind of, like, bottle, right? But I don't know if it's a real kind of bottle or if it's, like...
Is like how referring to something as a Mickey is regional?
Yeah, maybe. Sound off. Do you know what a Mickey is?
What is it?
Because me and Tyler know.
Mickeys are what you keep in your purse when you're waiting in line at Six Pines.
True enough. Alright. Keep looking. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. Alright.
Airship rotors. Ooh, a desk.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that mannequin looks horrifying.
$3. Strange yellow mannequin torso.
Strange yellow color. Probably from all the smoking.
Blue Velvet.
The Blue Velvet was a good movie. I will suggest anybody go see it if they can. It's one of those early examples of like suburban horror done really well.
All right. Movie suggestion: skis with slipstream painted on them. Probably I was supposed to come from this side, but okay, fair enough.
Oh, ludonarrative dissonance hack.
Slipstream with rotors.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
Ooh, somebody had a rebrand idea.
This is right up your alley, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I'm all about
this. This is what you've been paid professionally to do for people.
I am paid professionally to be a huge pedantic. It's true.
Shall we not get it?
Let's get it. Get that bread.
The skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
But the question is, which did they start with and which did they pivot to?
That's a good question.
A strange leap of imagination. I'm eternally fascinated. I'm sure Bright Sun Films will make a video about this that'll be 30 minutes long and very interesting.
Reality is ruthless.
Reality is ruthless. Oh well, at least I can steal a production schedule filament memory. That's $50. Nice.
What?
No idea.
That looks really cool, actually.
Yeah, it looks like a Rubik's Cube. Production schedule. Note,
Does
this
that-
filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Okay, so it's like a hard drive.
Oh, I love this universe's aesthetic for tech. I really do.
Is this Emma's atelier? Must be.
What's over here?
Where are the clothes
Oh,
you used
no.
to display? Oh, the cops are coming to get us.
Oh man, it's Harry. He's here. He's gonna drink all my booze.
You'll be lucky if he does.
You're a cop, Harry. I'm a what?
Okay.
Oh shit! It's Time Cube.
I was gonna say we got a bunch of stuff here.
Eh,
Shall we go? What should we go with first?
let's start with Time Cube on the left. There, yeah, that one. Thing being hung there.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside. But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Do you think I should turn it on?
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
He's interested, but he's also a man on a mission.
That's true. We should come back and turn this on. I think we should step away for now.
Okay. That's true. We can just come back. So you want to look at the blackboards?
Yeah.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in
Yo,
scribbles,
somebody's
sketches, and
torchbearer
schemes,
campaign is
like
on the
some
wall.
ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there.
This is how they develop the
Photos
Thaco
and
armor
drawings
system.
have been pinned to the board.
Do you want to inspect the stuff?
Let's look at the drawings. I really want to know, like, the gobbo is there in the middle.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin.
We're becoming
One of the welkins, towering among the rest,
nerds.
appears to be different, however.
Sorry, you were saying?
We're becoming nerds.
We are.
We have like a persona. I mean, we had the chance of a persona earlier, but now we're gonna have like a streamer persona.
Shall we examine the welkin?
Let's examine the Welkin. This is important. We need to help self-actualize in the safety
It's
of
Vada
anthropomorphy.
Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged.
Wow, I like these guys now.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why? This is clearly for somebody's RPG called Project Dread.
Project Welkin.
Ooh, yeah. But it said Project Dread earlier.
Oh.
Like, you scroll up, it says Project Dreadboard. So I think
Oh,
it's the name.
yeah, there you go. You're right. Good eye.
Also, just like our RPGs, the real-world cultures are bleeding into influencing these ones.
Interesting. Are you trying to say that maybe the games we make are influenced by the political climates in which they are made?
You know what?
That sounds like communism to me.
That's not only communism, but I will stand by that the Eastern expansion for 3.5 D&D has not aged very well.
That's certainly true.
That is, yeah, glad we agree. You know what? Let's go with who are these creatures? Who drew them? I feel like these are very base questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Well, he's still working on it. He still has to figure out how to do like the mini games for like persuasion or taxes. Let's move on from the Welkins for now.
All right.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Thank you, Kim. Do you have an OC?
You said thank you. You didn't draw them. At least we don't. I don't think so.
It was probably us in our feverish madness.
I guess it's possible.
Let's inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune Out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. The full text reads, Heat Death of the Universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Interesting.
Why would you write that in your own notes? That's pretty... Like, there's
Hey man, it's never too early to start thinking about branding.
Yeah, peel the fizz with this new RPG system we came up with, based solely around how plants interact. Let's inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. So much pain, back pain, neck pain, headaches, carpal tunnel, chest pain. No gym membership can make up for working in this manner.
Sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say, like, it's 53 right now, so this board is only 3 years old. I'm amazed that this whole place is as, kind of withered as it is.
I mean, 3 years of abandonment can take more of a toll on a place than you might suspect. But yeah.
That is a good point.
Mini stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
What happened with Encyclopedia? I'm actually really curious.
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for details.
Ooh.
I believe that the production schedule filament is the thing we just picked up in the other room.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called, so.
And we can put in the computer behind us, but I think for now, let's go look for the fridge.
Okay, do you want to look at the photos before we go?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, might as well, we've done everything else.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
I do, I'm not gonna lie, the idea of a primitive oil rig built into a glacier, I just find that idea just incredibly, I just would give anything to just wander around those rust-spotted catwalks. Man.
Oh, yeah. That would be...
Maybe I'm just weird like that, though.
No, I feel the exact same way. It's the same way, I don't know if anybody else has, but a couple of years ago when everyone just really got into liminal spaces, it's that kind of feeling of just looking at this kind of decay and just being like, I'd love to, explore here just a little bit, just to be, free of, the shackles of everyday life.
For sure. It reminds me, I remember, this is, nearly a decade ago, I remember I was in Barcelona, I think it was, and I remember we took a day trip in a car south down the coast, and I remember we like rounded this bay, and we came across this like massive industrial complex that was like kind of sheltered in its own bay. And I remember just staring at it, like this huge industrial building. In my mind, it's like massive and hulking and abandoned. I have no idea if any of those things were true, or if my mind has just made it bigger in the absence. But I still think about that place from time to time.
Just this massive, just industrial building, like
Yeah, and of course everything's in like Spanish, so I have no idea what any of the signs mean. So in my mind, it could have been anything.
And yeah, because you can't read it, it just you feel like a little kid again. Cause you're like, oh, this is like learning to read for the first time. Just kind of this bewilderment of like what is in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's continue.
Also, I like the comparison of eggnog or morphine. Like, yes, those are both
comfy.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
All right. Interesting.
Yes.
All right. Well, we can put the filament into the computer if you want.
I think we should find the fridge first. So I just noticed the time has been moving, so I think it's
it does when it does when you go into dialogue boxes, which we have been doing.
Yeah. What's that over there?
Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
Is it advanced, or is it just really granular and meticulous and just so detailed it stops being fun at a certain point?
Right, well, this is a door, so maybe let's finish exploring this floor. We don't have to like interact with anything that might have a text box, but we might as well look around.
Okay.
Because time doesn't pass while you're walking around. It's just when you interact or when you get into conversation trees, basically.
Yeah. Also, I'm thinking about your big industrial building that you saw. I saw a few things similar to that a couple years ago when I went kayaking up the northern arm here in BC, and there is like abandoned what is that?
A postcard.
Yeah, just abandoned like hydro stations that are just nestled in trees and stuff on rock faces.
Cool.
They have their own kind of beauty. So I know how you feel just seeing like these massive beings of industry.
They certainly do. All right. There's a shutter here, and that's about it.
Okay.
But this is upstairs, so it's yeah, I was gonna say there's
an iron safety curtain curves
okay.
before your eyes.
This is what
like
Plaisance was talking about.
It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial.
The she-devil is beyond here, apparently.
This
not
must
even a
be where
she-devil. It's like a lady who wants to be left alone.
Lives.
I wonder if she's in cahoots, or at least is friends with the weird entity that's in that shipping container.
Maybe. Shall we just leave, or do you want to knock on it?
Let's knock on it.
What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens.
Let's knock on it harder.
Still nothing. No one's home.
Knock even harder.
You're being turned to the side of physical force. I like it.
I am. I'm full of adrenaline and liquor.
Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy.
Ow!
Your fist hurts now. If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere as well. Maybe there's another way to get in.
Another way in, huh?
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things?
It's not random. It was clearly here. We knew about this.
So, in other words, number 2, or?
Yeah, let's go with number 2. I feel like number 1, we're indulging Plaisance weird fantasy that she gets from inhaling fiberglass fumes, or whatever.
Why do you think there's something on the other side, necessarily? In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further.
Kim, things are always informed by the opposite of their polar binary. There's clearly something on the other side of this door because we are on this side of this door.
He's right.
By nature of it being a door, there is something clearly on the other side.
All right, let's leave.
What's our
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Yeah, I rip shit apart.
Kudos.
All right, we have gained a thought.
Anti-object task force.
Anti-object task force. We can
Oh
research it,
my.
which will give us a -2 to our pain threshold temporarily. But it's about punching stuff. Do you want to internalize this thought?
I think that'd be a good one, especially. You know what? Let's do that when we go when we go to see Martin Martinez, because I think that'll be a period in which we will not be inclined to smash stuff. Whereas here, I think we need that pain threshold.
Okay, yeah, you want to save maybe pain threshold until a little later? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you want to enable it.
Sounds good.
If you want to enable it. Alright,
Sounds like
so
a really good one.
we don't want to monkey around with computer or this thing here, whatever this is. Looks like something scrolled in it, so let's head downstairs. Alright, here we are.
Oh, we go to abandoned sexnasium.
We've got some magnesium and some money.
I don't trust this medicine. It's like expired. Ooh, it's a ooh, yeah.
Bear. Alright,
Oh,
here we
tell me
are.
that's the fridge. Is that the fucking fridge?
I believe it is.
Oh my god.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red.
Tell me there's fucking Coca-Cola in this fridge. Tell me this is the Coca-Cola polar bear. Crack it open.
One way to find out.
Let's do it.
A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you.
What?
You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The
Oh,
lieutenant
yeah.
takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Let's look inside the fridge. Kim is having a normal reaction.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
It's big enough for 2 corpses, he says as he looks over at Kim. And Kim frowns. Almost sounds threatening.
Is that what you want to say?
Yeah, this is clearly the fridge.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
That is.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The
All
two
right.
of you, easily.
Yeah,
Hey.
montage.
Montage.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the body, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this, perhaps even some pagan rites.
Number 3 is a fun answer.
It is a fun answer. Is it the answer you want?
I think it is. I probably
I
won't
knew you would
indulge,
say that.
but
I knew this would lead to drinking. No, no more. This is paganistic enough, and it does not leave this room.
I'm not proud of it either, but we did find a fridge.
As impressive as the fridge is, this is a small victory, among numerous defeats. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection, under controlled circumstances.
Well, now I feel bad, because he said that's some of the best police work he's ever done, and now he's backpedaling.
I think he might have been being sarcastic.
Probably. It's just when
Inside
somebody says
the
something
icy
that hype,
realm
I don't want to
of the ice bear fridge.
True.
The corpse stands slumped, waiting.
I feel like this is a thing we should come back at 2 a.m. for. To talk to the body in the crush of midnight.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff here we can investigate. Anything interesting to you? We can also do this perception check. We got the clue to look in the mouth. We didn't establish a probable cause and refrigerated the body, so we have a 58% chance. And we might be higher if we increase our perception through other means.
Yeah, I think we should increase our perception and then give it a try.
Okay. Let me just check and see. We can also do other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we've already talked to the dead man already.
I think we have, but when it's like this, it means that there's probably new stuff to say because he's been moved.
Oh, that is a good point.
So we can also do that if you want. We can also, look at the other stuff that was already here before, like the note on the door.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the note on the door, and then we should increase our perception before we give it a perception check.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
Okay.
Are they talking about my magnets?
Let's, first things first, I'll get on... We've got the note from the door. We can read if you want. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, let's read it quickly.
Okay.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Oh, the alcohol ward off, so I'm gonna
Okay.
just pop that there.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Let's read the note. Dear Slim.
Someone
How
has
come we don't
scribbled,
call?
S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
I always found it fascinating that there's just like back then people just straight up didn't own fridges in semi-modern times, and it was the expectation you would eat out for every meal because they were affordable and reasonable back then.
Guess so.
Actually probably good for you.
All right. Well, the illiterate ginger kid must be Kuno.
You know what? I bet it is. Let's go. You know what? Who is the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
I mean, it's worth $50. I might try to do that.
Yeah, we need speed. We have a need for it. Where could the frozen ice cream maker be? Like, can we get that for our respective precincts?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Let's put the note away.
I mean, I was gonna say we actually found the filament memory, so
yeah.
We have found it already. So
beautiful.
That reminds me. Is there anything else in here that we haven't interacted with? We still have stuff in the ledger. We've interacted with this. We can read more there. We haven't read this, I don't think.
Illuminate confirmed.
I think we've interacted with the gum wrapper, but we haven't done the photo of tattoos. So we're gonna just try and keep these a little organized so we can look at them at our leisure. All right, back to it was what was it? What was the check in the fridge?
Perception.
Perception, right? Of course.
That dragon tattoo, it's just about on me. I got it for you, so now do you want me? With nothing to prove, will you be my honey? Oh yeah.
Nope, nothing to help us here.
Well, let's just try it anyways then.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the fruit. Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
What's this?
What's this?
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Let's put our fingers in his mouth. Call it macaroni.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
Play with it. This feels right. Play with the dead man's tongue.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Whoa.
Open your eyes and look.
Let's
A
do it.
vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate. You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
What? Let's touch it. I'm like ready to say fuck yeah just yet.
Fair enough.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Alright,
Only one way forward.
let's jump
Your
in,
index
shall we?
fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
Let's feel around first. I'm afraid our nightmare vision of him is just going to be even more interesting now.
It almost certainly will be.
Yeah, let's feel around
The
first.
basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex.
He shot
This
in the
man
mouth.
will never sleep again. Never wake.
Deeper now.
Deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
There's a cavity cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Whoosh.
Your
like
fingers
9
are
nuts
all the
deep.
way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
There's no checks here. I'm kind of amazed that this is just happening. Yeah.
We already made a check. This is just this is our reward. We get lots of description of a man sticking his fingers inside of a dead man's mouth. Lucky us.
Oh, daisies.
Wriggle in.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper, until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Oh, no.
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
Fish it out. Fish it out.
You don't want to do any of these first?
I feel a solid object right under the skull. Let's go for that one first.
Can you get to it?
Inspect the skull first.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside.
I
The
feel
object
like
that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
was he
We have the
shot in the
makings
mouth
of
before he was on.
very small exit wound here.
All right, and we know the precise spot of the exit wound, so we have gotten a bonus if you want to try fishing it out.
We were gonna try fishing it out. If we fail this, I'm gonna do like the Doug Walker scream. You're lucky.
Lucky indeed.
Lucky. No one's ready for that. No one wants it.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
Slowly pull the fingers out. It ain't over till it's over.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
Drop it in.
Put it in.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-calibre. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
May I share it? No,
Do you want to have it?
I do not want to have it. Kim, I trust you with this.
No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
Alright, it's ours for now. We can log it later.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Sounds about right.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion, non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
So he got shot, and then they hung him to make it look like he didn't get shot.
Well, why would they do that?
Interesting question.
That's why we're here. The ligament mark, the fractured hyoid bone, it was all treatment. Kim, they set
and
us
the
up.
belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Agreed. Big if true.
I have had my doubts since you showed me the tracks. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him, I thought. There was no satisfying explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
We didn't fall for it, he thinks. There's pride in there. There is, of
Hell yeah.
course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Logic being a spoil sport, as usual.
Logic, why? Why must you see patterns and then make assumptions? Number one's kind of a punk answer, because I feel like we already just kind of agreed that he was shot before doing that. Also, that makes no sense. Why would they shoot him while he was hung? So we're hanging him. like if you were yeah, so that's stupid. Because if you're gonna hang it, if the idea is that he's being rowdy, that he's not cooperating with being hung, you would have just shot him, and then you wouldn't have hung him in the first place. So that's stupid. I think I need to wash myself.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling Rise should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
My hands are filthy now. Can you have a napkin? Like it said, I cut myself while I was in a skull. I don't like the idea of post-mortem viscera getting into me.
We do have a wash off the death smell. Once
That
we
is
have
a
some
good-
privacy, apparently.
I have that task every day of my life. Maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Yeah, what happens next? Let's move on. I feel like the first one's a dumb question. Who would do this? I have a bunch of hints as to who already. Why would anyone do this? Clearly, it was for theater.
Alright, what happens next?
Yeah.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
What should I do in the meanwhile?
Yeah,
Work
what
on
should
the
I do?
case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, so what, before we do anything else, we'll close the door, and I will say that we have been going at it for a little while, so I think we'll call the episode here and decide what we want to do next time. So,
Brilliant idea.
if you have been, thanks for watching.
And you should probably reach for a glass of Coca-Cola right now, because we did it, boys. We did it, friends.
All right.
We blew this
Bye.
case wide open, much like this fridge door.